Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I-Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, Rovi, and MScribe, and today we got some Bittensor juice.
Finally, dude.
Yeah.
We're back to the TAO.
Yeah, so a lot of the people in the comment section have been saying, hey, what about Bittensor?
Have they?
What's the update?
Yeah, man. A lot of you guys in the comments say a lot of things, unfortunately.
Yeah, you guys do say a lot of things.
But we only have like the capacity to put out one video per day. And even then, so some days get slipped.
You know what? We've actually deployed multiple videos on one day before.
Why?
I don't know if you remember that.
Why?
I don't know, but we have.
That's crazy. What was wrong with this?
It was when in the heyday of Bitcoin.
I see. Yeah, there's just too much happening. It's like bitmaps, and then it's like everything else, right?
Yeah.
ERC20s, content abundance, but yeah, we're trying our best, guys, to trying to get to everybody's like recommendations, and because there's a lot happening, even though like the market is crazy at times, very volatile.
Mm-hmm.
Still, actually, a lot of interesting things happening, but Bittensor is really starting to stand out to us because of recent sentiment discussions happening in the market, right? Meme sector, obviously very powerful, like tremendous value being generated there, but also
imploded. Yeah,
on the inverse, on the other side of that coin, like equal magnitude of like sell-off velocity. So it has people questioning now. It's like, shit, is this the time, the perfect time to kind of like rotate to more fundamentally sound, more technically aligned paradigms in the market, right? If they even exist, for one. We think they do, and we think Bittensor is a good showcase of that, right?
Yeah, so speaking of something interesting, here's Bittensor's market cap, almost $3 billion, and it sort of had a kind of like a little correction here, just like everything did, but it had a V-shaped recovery, just like Bitcoin.
Yeah, but I think the max chart is what's most interesting here because it paints the picture of exactly what I'm talking about, where there's, even though this looks volatile, it's nothing compared to like your traditional meme coin chart, right? Like that is absolute euphoria and pain in like a single device, right? But this is like a sustained chart with like real organic activity happening that represents the difference, the dynamic between like the meme side of the market and like the more fundamentally sound, tech-driven side of the market. Yeah,
and a meme you'd get into a meme. Let's say, hopefully, you'd get down here, and then it literally round trips in a month, and that's what has occurred.
Yeah, this is a chart that's the data here is aggregated over a couple of years, right?
Yeah, April 2023.
Yeah, so this is good, right? This is for, I guess, the demographic of market participant that isn't like looking for pure casino play, right? They want to be a part of something that may have some actual impact on like society from like a technology point of view, right?
Yeah. Sensible.
I would think so. And then, factor in the macro environment of like traditional closed source AI and like DeepSeq disrupting all that. Now open source AI is like part of everybody's like discussion points. So, I mean, Bittensor's always been there, kind of like the poster child for that, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that here towards the end here. But another tweet, TAObot, it says, DTAO could be just 8 days away. Dynamic TAO is set to transform Bittensor, turning subnets into tradable assets when innovation drives value. With the launch window expected next week, we're preparing for the dawn of decentralized intelligence. So this is what we speculated on when we found Bittensor around this range.
Yeah, we were like, dude, TAO is great. The tokenomics are great. I love the incentive mechanism. I love the purpose, all of it, right? But us understanding the market is like, but nobody's going to care or really pay attention unless there's like rampant speculative viability, meaning like more token issuance, more expansion of a market beyond just TAO, right?
Yeah.
Like if TAO or the Bittensor ecosystem can enable that at some point in the future, we're probably going to see like what happened in DeFi, right? Where it's like all these cool technical protocols were emerging, but none of them were tokenized until the introduction of governance tokens and all this stuff. Then you saw, guess what? A MANIA. And if you were paying attention and you were positioned in some of those early DeFi protocols like MakerDAO, Compound, Curve, Yearn Finance, Uniswap, I mean, you were fucking crushing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is why you want to pay attention.
Yeah, each of those were multiple 100x plays, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, so moving on. And this is a tweet thread, by the way. Actually, no, I think the next one is. So DTAO white paper takeaways. So DTAO white paper dropped, revealing the latest design of DTAO and the best yet, offering stability, clarity, and opportunity. So here's a tweet thread that kind of breaks down what DTAO is.
And we talked about it on our last video, I think, about TAO.
Yeah.
A little more extensively. It's basically a shift a little bit in like their tokenomics design and like ecosystem for like allocating tokens, I guess, in a much more like open and free market type of environments where it's like more participation. Basically, you can essentially validate the performance of these individual subnets. That's what determines, I think, their TAO allocation, because as we're going to see, like that is the superpower of Bittensor, right? It's the token of TAO.
Mm-hmm.
It's the incentive alignment mechanism. It's what gets everybody wanting to contribute, because there's actual serious value to be gained by doing that. Right?
Yeah. So here's what the kind of like distribution looks like. So outside subnets liquidity pools, the proportion of the rewards remains the same. So 41% for validators and stakers. So validators and stakers split that 41%, I think 50-50. Mm-hmm. 41% goes to the miners and 18% for the owner. So if you own that subnet, you get 18%. And so
it's pretty good.
Yeah. So that means that there's a competition between subnets to provide useful infrastructure.
Yeah, exactly.
And what defines useful is what the community defines useful. And so if they define that useful, then they're going to stake their TAO tokens into that subnet, and thereby kind of indicating usefulness.
Yeah. So typically, so if you're talking infrastructure, and then what is the provability of usefulness from your perspective? What do you think that would be like?
Well, it'd be how many people are staking into my subnet.
No, I know, but why? What would drive me to stake into particular like infrastructure nets or whatever?
Well, I guess the capability for my subnet to provide some sort of value, right? It's like that belief of value. It's like, I'm going to stake with you guys.
Yeah, I guess initially it could just be like a belief system, like all of crypto, right? It's like blue skies, right? It's like, oh, this subnet is, has all the right infrastructure to support a lot of like, I don't know, inferencing.
Sure.
So I'm going to like speculate on that, but really like what you want to see is actual product like usage of this stuff.
Okay,
which I think we're about to show. It's actually happening now, right?
Yeah, so 5 subnets to watch in DTAO. So we got Targan, we got Chunking, Neural AI, Celium, and Shoots. And we're going to go deeper into one of these here.
Yeah, these are potentially all future videos. You guys let us know in the comments. Do you want us to like do deep dives? Because according to these guys, we got like a week or two until like this market comes to life.
Yeah.
So there's not that much time to like do your due diligence, right? So right. Heed this, call to action. I would spend some time over the next week or two, like really studying up on what each of these subnets do, if you want to partake. Right?
Yeah. All right. So cons coming in is you can run DeepSeq large 671 billion parameters, 128,000 contexts, which means that you can supply this AI with 128,000 of these tokens for your question. It's like you give it all this data, and it's like, give me some information from it. So 128,000 tokens is like a lot. You could supply that large language model with a lot of data, and it could read that data and give you some information from it.
Interesting.
So 30 tokens per second for free right now on Targan.
So this is Const. So you don't know who that is. He is what Vitalik is to Ethereum, right?
Correct.
Const is the creator of Bittensor network. So I think his opinions on like which of these subnets are providing actual valuable, utility for the ecosystem. I think it's you really want to factor that into your decision making moving forward. I would say. Yeah,
Const isn't just like a meme guy.
Yeah, he's not a KOL.
Yeah,
right. I mean, KOLs are important too, I guess, but I mean,
yeah.
This is a very complicated subject to kind of like give an opinion on, like, which AI and especially AI infrastructure. This is not something most KOLs are privy to like understanding.
Right.
That's why most of them are like playing around on meme land, right?
Yeah. That's what they know completely.
Yeah. I was like, I can look at a cat. It's like, dude, that shit vibes with me, bro.
Yeah.
So it's going to vibe with most people probably. So I'm going to say this cat is the runner.
This cat with hat is the winner.
This dog with pants. You know, this dolphin with one flipper.
Right.
You know, shit like that, right? Like, you know, it's not that hard to make these kind of calls. You know, if you make enough of them, you're going to be right eventually, and then you have fame and glory, right? Everyone thinks you're a genius. So this is a little more complicated, I would say.
And so Target was one of the ones here, and this is a decentralized AI cloud, and it's supporting DeepSeq R1 APIs for free through the Shoots implementation.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about Shoots here in a second, and let's move on. It says, all logistic problems will be solved under incentive. Crazy to see the edge expanding over all the commercial competitors. So Graphite S43.
That stands for Subnet 43. So he's literally laying out like all these subnets. So the last one, Targon's Subnet 4.
Yeah, so Subnet 4, and this one's 43. It says, this deep tech, which most people won't ever interact with, but small gains in logistic problems can mean percent point gains in revenue for billion-dollar companies and nation states. So this is an absolute gem of a subnet on Bittensor. Proud of the team.
Very high accolades coming from the from God himself. It's pretty good, right?
All right. So talking about Graphite AI, so that's what he's referring to here. This was Subnet 43. So empowering solutions with Graphite says, with Bittensor as a foundation, our team developed Graphite to tackle real-world problems with decentralized apps. So yeah, there's some metrics here to kind of go over, and the ecosystem, miners and validators of the TAO ecosystem.
Yeah, so that explained, I guess, how it all works. So definitely spend some time, guys, individually. Like we said, we'll possibly make videos on all these one by one if there's enough like interaction in the comments.
Yeah.
So let us know.
Yeah, as soon as you you see an I guess input from somebody, let's say talking about Shoots, like that comment. That way we know which one to focus on. All right, so we got another tweet here by Cons. The first ever mass adoption crypto product, which isn't a financial instrument, Rayon Labs, it Shoots. So that I think that's their project. Rayon Labs' project is Shoots, is processing nearly all of the free DeepSeq R1 tokens on OpenRouter with about 2 billion tokens, which represents 43% of all DeepSeq traffic.
Yeah, so we spent a little bit of time before recording this to try and validate if this is true or not, because I saw this and it's like, hold on. If this is true, this should be like everybody should be paying attention.
Yeah.
Right? Because DeepSeq is on everybody's like mind share. It's galvanizing a war between the United States and China, at least from the perspective of AI progress and open sourcing.
Yeah.
The disadvantages and advantages of that, right? And then you find out like a bulk of the traffic.
Yeah, 43% market share of all DeepSeq traffic is going through Shoots.
Yeah, that's
insane.
Yeah, either this is like the biggest LARP of all time, or like this is, like kind of what Khan said, like this is an actual, what did you say at the top? Like this is an actual product, like a real world product that has like real world impact.
Yeah, which isn't financial.
Yeah, which is that doesn't happen very often in our space, guys. You know.
Yeah, so he has another tweet here. Says each query is being routed across a decentralized set of unpermissioned and incentivized mining nodes on Bittensor. Slowly, then suddenly, every AI infrastructure problem is going to integrate to Bittensor.
Yeah, so you factor that in. It's like, you know, the usefulness of like just the infrastructure providers of today, and then you understand the tokenomics and the incentive model of tomorrow, right? This is leveraging the same economic structure of Bitcoin, meaning like there's a halvening. First one happens at the end of this year, and that means like the scarcity starts to factor in, so therefore like the value of the token goes up. It drives more incentive to like participate in the network, just like it does for Bitcoin.
Yeah, because now you're earning the most TAO that you're going to ever earn.
Yeah,
before the halvening.
Right, so you as an AI developer, open source contributor, whatever, you really want to get in during these days.
Yeah.
As if like you really wanted to be a Bitcoin miner in its first 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Those are the handsome days.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
So here Shoots, serverless AI compute. It says deploy, run, and scale any AI model in seconds. Try directly through our platform or use easy-to-use API in seconds. So these are the guys who are providing the free API call to DeepSeq R1 that you can leverage for free, unlimited free API calls, which is insane. And the reason why this is even possible is because they're leveraging the Bittensor network, that means that they're earning TAO tokens as a form of compensation.
So that's what offsets the server infrastructure cost.
Correct. Yes.
So they can offer that for the user.
Yes.
And like most, but yeah, this is what Const's been saying for all along is like the incentives matter.
Yeah.
Right. You can do things in an ecosystem that has this like incentive backing. As like that's a comparable difference between Web 2 and Web 3, I guess, AI open source, right? You can do very interesting things like this.
Yeah, what's even more interesting is that DeepSeq partnered with Microsoft. So Microsoft invested in OpenAI, but DeepSeq China partnered with Microsoft and Azure to provide the same API but at a cost compared to Shoot's implementation of DeepSeq open model, right? For free.
Yeah.
Right. So and Shoots is incentivized by the Bittensor network to provide this for free because in response, as you're staking with Shoots, therefore Shoots is generating TAO. You're generating TAO because people are using it. And I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, so I would anticipate, once the market kind of picks up on that, considering we're a week or two away from, I guess, these subnets becoming like, market participants, meaning like you could speculate on the value of these things with their own tokens.
Yeah.
Like that's a big deal, right?
Yeah. So another tweet here, Bittensor is paying a $1 billion per year in very liquid TAO rewards for anyone on Earth who contributes to designing, shipping, and scaling open source AI on many dimensions. So you don't need a VC. You don't even need a startup. You certainly don't need any capital. This figure will very soon grow to tens of billions in the equivalent of TAO over the next year.
Assuming, there's a lot of assumptions being made here, right? The assumption is we are going to experience like a pendulum swing in the other direction this cycle, because the pendulum as of now has been full, like max degeneracy, max casino, minimal fundamentals, minimal execution risk, minimal actual contribution to human society.
Yes.
It's all about finding the perfect vessel for only number go up and speculation, right? That's what the market has been so far. So the pendulum has to swing the other direction. It's like now people have to like actually put in some work, some due diligence to try and understand fundamentals of technology, fundamentals of projects.
What? As stringent as that sounds, it's actually not that hard these days with AI.
True.
You want to learn something, just ask the AI. It'll tell you, and it'll do a very, very good job.
Yeah. Well, okay. And then assuming the world wises up to the usage of AI to help their due diligence, then all of a sudden this market has equal, if not greater, viability than the meme economy does.
I think this sector of the economy has never been more viable than it is now.
That's true.
As a result of AI.
That's 100% accurate. Yeah. Now it's not only just the market side of like understanding what these projects can do. It's like building innovative and unique products by leveraging AI itself.
Right. We're
going to see an explosion of that. So like you're talking perfect conditions for like essentially what the market wants at the end of the day is rampant speculation, like we're saying.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. It's what the market is in crypto. But if at the end of this we get like 99% rugs like you do for memes, 1% like at the end of this, like some actual breakthroughs, some actual like killer contributions to society, I think that's a net gain.
Yeah,
I would say
100% agree. Yeah. All right, final tweet here. Bittensor being the largest distributor of DeepSeq highlights its immense value. Bittensor inhales and innovates on open source AI contribution. Within hours of DeepSeq R1 launch, the inferences subnets were serving the R1 model at full availability and great performance. Moved faster than all the FANG companies and had more demand. Open source will win. Incentive mechanisms will drive velocity faster than corporate bureaucracy decision making.
Boom. That's like a boom tweet, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're like one of the guys trying to call like, the Big Short ahead of the market, and then you start to see all the big traditional banks collapsing.
Yeah.
And then you're like, boom, called it,
Yeah, because a lot of these like big companies like FANG, so that's Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google, they, obviously some of them are not going to offer these models, but some do. And what they do is they take this open source model and they put a paywall behind it. Even though it's like you could run it locally, you could, spin up your own server and run it for yourself. but they provide this paywall. But Bittensor encourages people to build this infrastructure to provide this particular large language model for free.
Yeah.
And unlimited API calls, right? No one is doing that.
Yeah, that's insane. Now a lot of things have like much larger viability, specifically like AI agents.
Yeah.
You know, now like this, the cost considerations are reduced significantly.
Yeah.
I mean, so now you can actually have a trillion agent economy.
Yeah.
Like part of the metaverse, part of whatever, right? XYZ sector. If you need 1 billion agents working on science.
Hell yeah, dude.
You know, working on unraveling protein structures and shit so
Sure.
we can create vaccines and whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a major contribution to that end.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think we said enough about Bittensor and shoots and all these like different subnets that are connecting to that network. If there are any questions, please let us know in the comment section below. And if you find anything interesting, also let us know as well. Appreciate you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Peace.